Hey, you can't go down in my tunnel. That's not made for spiders. It's only made for old guys. But yeah, this is great for a hover vessel. Woohoo! Check that out. Holy crap. Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival on Alpha 11.5.3. I am an old guy gaming. This is the Project Eden series, and it's also the Dead is Dead series. I'm still alive. And I'm just working on the underground hangar here. And I thought I'd bring you in and kind of show you what I'm doing. I'm not going to show all of this on camera, of course, but just kind of give you an idea of what's going on. When I first logged in, we immediately got attacked, which was kind of weird. I'm almost wondering if they were just some random drones out and about, because there was only like 2 drones, and of course my guns just spanked the crap out of them. But anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to keep my hover vessel at 1 meter above the ground and keep it level, and you know, just going along here and carving out the stone. And I got a little bit my first pass that we did last time, we got off a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfectly level anyways, because we're going to line it with concrete anyway, the floor, but I want it to be, you know, relatively level. And we got a little hole off to the right here where I really got off track too. So anyway, yeah, but you know, starting at this point, except for the kind of the groove, you know, running down the middle, as long as I keep it at 1 meter and, you know, just keep it in fixed drill mode so I stay level, and I'm periodically hitting the O key too, we should be able to carve this out and make it, you know, relatively flat. For the, you know, for the ceiling in here, I'm probably gonna have to just do that by hand. What I could do too, once I kind of get the, you know, the main floor carved out, is I could just take the hover vessel up to, you know, 3 meters, and you know, it would carve a little bit more out, but I think ultimately we're just going to have to use the hand drill to do that. This is the base here, and I had actually punched through here, you know, to get underneath, and got underneath the crop plots, not meaning to. Can we get all the way up there? Not quite. Okay. So what I did is I took out these blocks here to kind of see where I'm at, and this is actually the corridor that leads, you know, to the elevator that will ultimately go up to the tower. And so what I'm probably going to do is have this be basically the center point, horizontally speaking, of the hangar. I'm going to cut this way a little bit further, and then we'll start cutting this way, because, you know, whenever I've built hangars like this, they're always smaller than you think they are. They look really big when you're down in the weeds with them, but then, you know, you bring your ship in and you're going, oh shit, that's not very much room at all. So yeah, we're definitely going to cut this way quite a ways too. I'm not exactly sure how wide I'm going to make it yet, but it's going to be quite a bit wider than this. I heard in the comments today from Terry Beer, one of my viewers, that he was having some trouble here in 11.5.3 with hover vessels, small vessels, whatnot, having some kind of like a jittering bug or something like that. I haven't seen that happen yet, but I've only been in the mining vessel since I started up the game tonight. So hopefully we don't run into that. And hopefully, Terry, you can get that fixed as soon as possible too. He was actually saying other people were saying it was an issue on the forums though too, so hopefully it's something Elion could fix. But it hasn't happened to me yet, so, you know, hopefully we'll be able to get through this episode without that issue occurring, because I've got quite a bit more mining to do with the camo miner here. Alright guys, so there's not really a whole lot to show you at this point. I'm just going to keep digging out stone, and at some point, again, I will bring you back with an update on how we're doing, and we'll go from there. Okay, so be back in a bit. Alright guys, bring you back for a little bit of an update here. So I have basically dug out 20 blocks to the north from the central point here. And I think that's probably plenty far that way. I'm not sure how many blocks we've gone down this way. Let's actually check that out. I am having some weird issues with the miner though. It's not doing the jittery thing, but it is what it'll do is it's not turning anymore. I mean, like really bad turning, for one thing. But it's also, after a while, it doesn't let me go back into fixed drill mode. So it's really weird. I have to log out of the game to get it to go back to fixed drill mode. Yeah, so I don't know what the hell's going on with it. There's something weird going on with it, but anyway, so let's see how far we've gone this way. So 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only 20 to that side, isn't it? So this actually could be more like a 20 by 40. So here, that was the 20th block. So let's just keep counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12, 13, 14. Okay, but 14 to this wall. So if we wanted to make it a 20 by 40, which we don't really need to do, we'd have to carve more of this out. We definitely don't need to do that, though. And I was going to do like a ramp down in here, you know, like we started here. But what I think I'll actually do instead is I think we'll just do a hangar door, you know, like a flat bay door that we go into from the top. That's what I'm thinking we'll probably do. We might still, you know, keep this as a secondary access down here. I'll have to, you know, carve it out a little bit better and put some ramp blocks in there. Maybe what we'll do is we'll make it a 20 by 30. At least in terms of, you know, the pad itself. But I sort of kind of lost my count, so let's just count this again really quick. So that's going to 1, 2, 3, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, so that would actually be the end of it right there. We need to go 20 blocks this way now, too. So I think we're only at 10 or 11. So let's count this out again, too. So this is the center block here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay, so let's just put that there for the moment. We'll know that's the 10th block. All right, let's see if this if we can get the automatic drill mode to work again. So there it goes. Now it's working. It wasn't working before. I don't know what the hell was wrong with it, but okay, we want to get up to 1 meter, and we're going to drill another 10 blocks this direction. So let's make sure we're facing due south, so we know we're correct on that axis. So let's keep cutting this way. All right, now let's test this and see how close we are. So this would be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so we went a little further, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, so basically then we're going to start from here and drill that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring these blocks over this direction, so we kind of know where we need to cut back the other direction. Excellent. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's turn that off. I'm going to remove the turret here. Just like that. Oh, I got some blocks missing there. I wonder how that happened. Did this thing take a couple of hits on our first attack, or... I don't know. Maybe it did. Okay, well, we'll have to fix that later. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to... Let's transfer the stone over to the overflow here. Look at all that stone. Nice. We've got approaching 4,000. That'll last us quite some time. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get as high as we can. And let's also... Whoops. Here. Let's get into a corner. So we can start like in this corner here. Yeah, see, I've lost my turning. It turns like shit. So I don't know, I don't know what happened from between, you know, today and yesterday when it was turning great. But I'm moving my mouse like all the way across the mouse pad and it is not turning for shit. So I don't know what happened. Something changed. So what we're going to do is we get all the way in this corner. We're going to get as high as we can. What I wanted to do, I thought about this a little bit, and I think what I want to do is I want to... Can we get up there? I want to... There we go. Bring the warp shuttle in. Get it going in the factory. Just because it's gonna... What that's gonna do for us is it's gonna do a couple things. It's gonna allow us to warp with the miner, or even just take the mining vessel to the moon for that matter, you know, for promethium and stuff. But it's also a fairly decent hauler in its own right. It's going to be able to haul a hell of a lot more than a small vessel is going to be able to haul. And once we get that in, then I'm gonna rebuild the Stingray to be a pure combat vessel. So that's kind of my plan with that. And then we won't need to use the Stingray anymore for anything other than, well, combat, right? So to get the warp shuttle in, and the warp shuttle is going to need a little bit of work too because it's not updated for CPU. So I did this version in the first Project Eden series back in pre-alpha 10.5. So if you guys watch that, you probably remember. But anyway, we'll have to do a little bit of work on this CPU-wise, but for the most part, you know, it should get us going where we need to go. So to send this guy to the factory, we're going to need a decent amount of Sath. Boy, that's... and even a little Neo too. So you know what I'm thinking we probably should do? I really should probably go get that that deconstructor that we have back on Vardum and bring it here so that we can start taking apart hardened steel and getting Sathium. It's going to be so much easier to do that than to try and find actual Sathium. At least that was my experience in the first run with Project Eden. I just had a hell of a time, you know, finding a lot, you know, Sathium in quantities. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm just gonna keep digging here for a while longer. So I have spent the last, I don't know, 2 or 3, probably about 2 real-time hours carving this sucker out, and I'm just, finishing up here with the floor, just kind of shaving off a little bit of uneven area, and this thing is like really flat. I mean, it is so damn flat. I'm tempted to just leave it stone and not even put a floor down at all. I probably will, though, put a floor down. So, yeah, I thought I'd bring you back at this point and kind of just show you, what I've done so far. The thing is if I do put a floor, I probably need to go down another block or two, just because, it looks big now, but when you're coming in here in a ship, it's really not going to be that big. So, all right, well, let's finish this out here. Woo, this was a lot of work. I have got tons of stone, as you can probably imagine. I mean, stone up the wazoo is just crazy. So, I think what I want to do now is I think I want to figure out more or less where the center is, and then we're going to punch a hole. Here, let's get out of here. We're going to punch a hole right up into the ceiling and carve out a spot, for hangar doors. Which is how we'll get down here with the small vessel. With the hover vessel, however, we probably are going to have to still do the ramp thing. And so I'm going to, try and make this fairly even ramp-wise, and continue, planning on using that original opening that we created, to get hover vessels down here. But to get the hover vessels down here, we could go through the hatch door too, but getting them back out, we're going to need a ramp. So we want to get, if you look in the lower right-hand corner, you can see the angle that we're on here, right? And so what I want to do is I want to kind of set this at an angle. We don't want 45 degrees. That's too steep. So I'm thinking something more like maybe a 30-ish degree angle. And we also want to make sure that we're more or less pointing west. That we'll have to use our little mini map to determine that. And then let's hold this at about 35 degrees ish. Okay, so we're pointing west, we're holding it at 35 degrees. So we're going to kind of move sideways here. Doesn't have to be a huge opening, but we want to make sure that we have, a decent opening. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Oh shit! You son of a little bastard. Hey, you can't go down in my tunnel. That's not made for spiders. It's only made for old guys. Come here. Is there more of them? Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, that's so damn good, in fact, that we probably really don't need to put blocks down there if we don't want to, Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, let's just let's trim some of this off. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, if we wanted to, we could, we could also put a bay door up in this opening as well. But I think that actually will work out pretty well as it is. Let's take this off. Just remove those blocks there. And let's just check this out. Oh, what the hell, man? Got a little lumpity-doo right there. There we go. Okay, cool. Man, I sure wished they hadn't, my turning hadn't screwed up. I mean, it is so bad. And, you know, if you guys saw that, well, I guess it was 2 episodes ago now when I first spawned this in, it was turning beautifully. Now it's turning like shit. I don't understand that. But yeah, this is great for a hover vessel. Woohoo! Check that out. Holy crap. When I had this problem before with the small vessel, if I went in and clicked on a couple tabs and then came back out, then it would turn again, but it's still not turning worth a shit now. What does our statistics say, by the way? Torque detail. So we're looking at our yaw. So we have nothing coming from RCS here. But, yeah, that's only 43. Why is that 105, though? Yeah, that is terrible. Okay, so yaw to starboard is slower than yaw to port. So that's probably, this is probably port and that's starboard, I'm guessing. Torque +5, -5, yeah. I don't know, we might have to throw some RCSs back on this thing. I mean, I took them off, but this is terrible. Absolutely terrible, especially trying to turn, you know, to port. It's just bad. I don't know why. Don't know why that's happening. My pitch is actually really bad too, which is, I guess, isn't really a surprise. He rocketed out of there. Oh yeah, the pitch is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, well, that works out quite well though, actually, for the hover vessel. I wonder if we could fit the Stingray through that opening too. Probably not. We could if we made it wider. I don't think that's gonna fit. I mean, we could try it. We could try it. Okay, so if we wanted to widen this enough for the Stingray, then what we need to do, of course, is probably just park it right here so we can use that as a guide on how much to widen it. But I don't know. I mean, do I want to mess with that now? Because this is supposed to basically be the hover, you know, the hover vessel entrance anyway. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make an opening from the top. And probably that opening should be right about here-ish, I'm thinking. Because I have a feeling that the dead center of that cavern, based upon the dimensions that it currently is probably right about where our tower is there. One thing we could do is, let's park this again. Let's go punch a hole right in front of, or right to the east of, our tower and just kind of see where it pops out at. Yeah, that's pretty damn close to about in the middle. I mean, we'd have to hold it, you know, to the east, not to the west. Okay, let's do this. Let's grab the Stingray. I'm eating up all my rations because I don't want to stop and go grab food. Okay, so this kind of gives us an idea of the outline that we're going to need of the opening. So let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, so let's grab these. And I'm just using this right now just as an outline. These blocks aren't necessarily going to stay here. We want a little bit of clearance on both sides, I guess. Alright, so that gives us an idea anyways of what we're playing with. So we're basically 9 blocks that way. What are we this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks. So it's gonna depend upon the size of the hangars. So can we make one of those? Let's take a look. Advanced constructor, base. Alright, I don't have it learned. Do I have points? I have 67 points, yes. Okay, so let's go to the base. Here. Okay. Now, let's queue one of those up. And then we can use that, you know, to, like I said, kind of get an idea of what the actual size needs to be. So we know we can fit into this size here, but we don't really want it to be any smaller than that. If I do a flattening, does that get rid of this bush? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we've got a 14 by 7, a 13 by 7, a 10 by 9, 14 by 7. I'm thinking we go big or go home on this because, like I said, we want to be able to get the warp shuttle through here too. Wonder, I'll bet you the ground is in the way. Yeah, I'll bet you the ground's in the way. What we could do though is we could do this. Yep, that's correct. Okay, but of course we'll lay it flat. Okay, so I guess we need to excavate a little bit of this ground here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we got enemies. Yeah, my my flat cannons are just kicking the shit out of these guys. He's gonna go down in just a second. He's coming from the east. Yep. Not even a chance. Just wasting them. Pretty good defenses. Pretty good defenses. So this internal span this way should be a total of 14 blocks. Let's just double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We went too far, didn't we? This should be 7 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, so I think we... Oh, though, you know what? We're gonna have a gap in the middle of here, aren't we? maybe what we ought to do instead, just because I think this, if the seam's not in the middle, it's going to look weird. No, it's still not going to line up correctly, is it? Because it's 14, it would need to be an odd number. Dang. So basically, we need an odd. I think we need odd numbered gates. Is what we need to make this to work. Okay, so this one is a 13 by 7 by 1. That's a 14 by 7 by 1. The 13 would work if we put it this way. Because see, then the center is right in the middle, the center of the thing, of the tower base, right? If we try to do a 14 and we put it in this way, it's going to be off center and it's going to look weird. If we try and put the 14 this way, it's not going to butt up evenly on the seam. Well, they're both 7 high anyway, so it's still not going to. There's no situation where the seam's going to be right in the center of this, just because of the way the blocks work in the game. What? How did I... I put the wrong damn blocks in there. I didn't even notice that. So we've got to... we need to use the 13. That's what it boils down to. We need to use the 13. Okay, so now that we know that... here, let's turn this way again for a second. And I'm just going to set that there, to kind of use as a template, because my brain doesn't work very well with math sometimes. You guys have probably noticed that, huh? Okay, so basically this row comes out. Okay, so we're going with this one, and we want to flip it this way. No, this way. Boom. Huzzah! That looks pretty good. Hopefully we'll be able to fit the warp shuttle in here. If we can't, then we probably will just have to use those bigger ones, and it won't be centered on there. There's just not much else we can do about it. Okay, so is this 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, it's already perfect. Okay, guys. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably actually bring the mining vessel up here. Well, no, I'll probably shave off a layer or two by hand, because I really don't want to mess up this part of the ground. I want to keep it nice. But once we kind of get down a ways, then I'll use the mining vessel to finish it out, because it'll probably go faster. And then we'll put the other door in there, and then that will be the entrance to our hangar from up above. That looks pretty badass. Pretty badass. And then, for our hovercraft opening back over there, I might try and put a hangar door in there as well. Whether it'll be flat or vertical, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see. What we might do is we might try and put a vertical one, but put it down far enough down to where it's underneath the surface. So I'll have to just kind of look at that and see what I feel is going to be the best way to handle that. But anyway, thanks for watching. And again, hope you guys aren't minding the the building episodes too much. But like I said, it's just really important stuff that we got to get done. Because here's the thing: we need a hauling vessel, we need a fighter vessel, but I don't want to build or spawn in all those vessels and just have them exposed out here. Even though our guns are doing a damn good job of keeping this place well protected. But I mean, I don't know what the Xerax is going to throw at us next. They could throw a pretty big attack and still get in and get some shots off on the base directly. In fact, I'm sure that they will. In fact, they can attack at any time now. So this is really important stuff, and we got to get it done. And, you know, it's either me do it all off camera or me do it on camera, and you guys can see what's going on. And hopefully, you know, like I said, hopefully you don't mind the building too much. We're not going to be doing it forever, of course, but we're doing it for a little bit to do the stuff that we need to do. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.